Ndị be anyị ekelekwanụ m unu. Asị m ka nke onye chiri ya si alụkwa. Asị n'ụbọchị nketa ya mara na anyị na mma na ihe adị ka echi na echi ada agwụ agwụ. Otu anyị kwuru ya, otu akụ ya dịrị n'ụmụ Igbo. Ise ise ise. Ọzọ dị ka ibe ya bụ anyị emekunu mara na ya bụ Eastern News 24 ka anyị si wee wetara ya bụ ozi unu je gị n'ugbu a n'iru akwụkwọ gbasa maka ya bụ ife na-eme n'obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya anụ nwere ụwa n'azụ n'ala Igbo. Ozi anyị wetara unu n'ụbọchị nketa bụ according to the Biafran activist.
Breaking news. Tinubu moves to stop Sowore October 20 protests to free Nnamdi Kanu as the global world step in. Here the news in details. All right, this is according to the Biafran activist Wetela Yabozi. Please pay attention to this clip. Diki Yegia Bifekabalo, Kiriatani Foku. Over to you, sir.
The federal government of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, led by one Mohammed Tinubu, is currently panicking. They are under serious panic mode because of course, the momentum that the 20th of October protest for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, led by Mazi Omoile Sowore, is gathering at the minute, both locally and internationally. This very October 20th protest for the release of Nnamdi Kanu is speedily becoming a phenomenon. And therefore, the federal government of the zoo, controlled by the Fulani oligarchy, but led as a poster boy, Mohammed Tinubu, is currently in a very, very precarious moment, and they are running helter-skelter. They don't know how to escape it. Now, based on what has happened today, it is an evidence, in fact, a substantial evidence to prove that the zoo is not ready to contend this very phenomenon. Therefore, without further ado, I will be reading this very news from Sahara Reporters, and after that, I will take you straight to Omoile Sowore, Mazi Omoile Sowore, so that we can also capture his own reaction towards this very latest development. Today's date is 17th of October. Therefore, we have only 3 more days to go for this very groundbreaking, record-breaking, free Nnamdi Kanu now protest that is going to take place in Aso Rock. Now, let us read first of all from Sahara Reporters before we visit Mazi Omoile Sowore to hear or to see his reaction for this very current information. According to the title from Sahara Reporters, they said, breaking, Tinubu government files suit to stop Sowore, orders from organizing October 20th #Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest. This headline is a breaking news. I'm telling you what is going on now, not yesterday, not even in the morning, now, this very afternoon. You can see the date, October 17, 2025. The suit filed at the Federal High Court, Abuja, seeks to restrain the pro-democracy convener and 3 others from leading the Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest scheduled for October 20, 2025. The federal government of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, has filed a lawsuit seeking to halt the planned Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest led by human rights activist Omoile Sowore. The suit filed at the Federal High Court, Abuja, seeks to restrain the pro-democracy convener and 3 others from leading the Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest scheduled for October 20, 2025. In an ex parte application filed under case number FSC/ABJ/2202/2025 and moved by lawyer Wisdom Madaki. Wisdom Madaki is the federal government lawyer. On behalf of the federal government requested an order to prevent Sowore and 3 others from participating in organizing or promoting the protest, which demands the unconditional release of the 10 separatist leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Now, this Wisdom Madaki, shame on you. Shame on you. I believe you are a young man. Shame on you. The man that they are holding in the custody illegally is a man who is fighting for freedom. So that means you love, you love darkness. You love, bondage. You love slavery. Because anybody who is standing against a freedom fighter literally loves slavery. It means that you love slavery, you love darkness, you love bondage. That's all it means. It doesn't matter how much you are being paid. It doesn't matter whether you want to tell me, hey, but you are doing your business. I don't care. Let us continue. Now, what you are seeing on your screen here is the lawsuit, which I'm going to enlarge it for you to see clearly after visiting Mazi Omoyele Sowore. Now, they continued. However, Justice M.G. Umar of Federal High Court 5 refused to grant the government's requested ex parte injunction. You see, upon his northerner, Umar, I don't know if he's a Fulani or Hausa, but surely he's a northerner. He refused to grant. Oh my goodness, I want to see who this man is. I want to see his picture. But there is another breaking news that, and it seems like another judge has come to grant them. But Omoyele Sowore has something to say, which will be paying attention in a jiffy. Instead, the court directed that Sowore be formally put on notice and adjourn the matter to October 21st, a day after the scheduled protest. Sowore, known for his advocacy on civil rights and activism, has been at the forefront of several campaigns calling for the release of detained separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu is the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. Sowore recently launched a campaign demanding the release of Kanu, rallying politicians and citizens alike, and expanding the movement to grassroots locations like markets. I told you it is speedily becoming a phenomenon. It is what it is, and nobody can stop it, no matter how much they spend. The zoo has been spending money. People are languishing in poverty. Based on the statistics that was released a couple of days ago, over 135 million Nigerians. 135 million. Oh my God. Based on these statistics, over 135 million Nigerians are wallowing in poverty. Now, the zoo government is spending billions organizing counter-protests, organizing court suits in order to stop a common protest. Why are they afraid? What are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? Why are you spending billions that you are supposed to use to alleviate millions of people from poverty? You are spending it just to organize thugs in the name of counter-protest. Shame on you. Oh my God. And guess what? The thugs and criminals that they are organizing for this counter-protest, majority of them are from the East. You know, when you hear me say East or Southeast, I'm talking about the political Southeast. I'm not really talking about the Igbo people. Whenever you hear me use that word Southeast, just know that I'm talking about the political Southeast. The one that was created politically, not the real citizens, not the real indigenes, not the real Igbo people. Because in this same Southeast, you have many people, thousands, if not millions of people who speak Igbo language fluently, bear Igbo names. But originally, biologically, they were fathered by the Northerners, by Fulani, Alhajis, and Katoreras in the East, in Southeast. You understand? Originally, the likes of Ijele them, the likes of Ebe Kwedi Karidakara, the likes of Edi Afuonu, you know, the likes of Jovika them. These are people, including those who are claiming to be Biafra agitators. There are many Fulani fathered, people who are into Biafra agitation. So many of them, there are so many of them, and they speak Igbo language with Igbo names. So once you hear me talk about Southeast, I'm talking about those people like that. Now they said, Sowore, a former presidential candidate, announced a protest march scheduled for October 2025 aimed at pressuring the Nigerian government to release Kanu. He described the protest as a historic march to Asorok Villa in Abuja, starting at 7 a.m. and has been actively promoting it under the hashtag Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. Sowore recently met with former President Goodluck Jonathan to seek his support. Jonathan acknowledged the urgency of resolving Kanu's case and promised to discuss it with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Sowore also reached out to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, among others, urging them to back the protest and support efforts towards Kanu's release. Atiku also endorsed the campaign. In a recent statement, Sowore emphasized that the campaign would extend beyond political circles into markets and public spaces, aiming to mobilize ordinary Nigerians and raise awareness at the grassroots level, which he has been doing diligently. He has been doing it exactly the same way he said it. Kudos to him, actually. Sowore is not an ordinary man. Now, the Bola Tinubu's presidency, the Bola Tinubu presidency, through spokesperson Bayo Onanoga, one of the most useless idiots in the world, recently criticized Sowore's actions, accusing him of trying to incite disorder and undermine the rule of law. Imagine. This is their statement. This is the way they speak. They speak without brain. They speak without sense. They speak without knowledge. How can somebody organize an ordinary protest, which he has said with his own mouth, time without number, that is going to be a peaceful protest, and throughout the week that he's been, going about mobilizing people for this protest, it has been peaceful. People have been responding peacefully. And somebody is sitting somewhere in Abuja, in Asorok probably. I don't know if he's in Asorok or wherever, or Nanoga, or whatever he called himself, talking about inciting disorder. How? And undermining rule of law. How? Protest, is it not human right? Is it not part of rule of law? To protest when you feel uncomfortable, with some government policies. Is it not the right of the citizens to protest? When has protesting, on the roads or in the streets become incitement or undermining the rule of law? You people should tell us, because you want to lecture us now like as if we do not know what the rule of law means. Mad people everywhere. They reiterated that Kanu is facing treason charges and dismissed the protest as anarchistic. You see, Kanu is facing treason. The same Kanu that the appeal court, second highest court in the land, has said discharge him. He commit no offense. Actually, the government committed a crime against him. In fact, a crime against humanity, a crime of kidnap and rendition. It should be a capital offense that goes with capital punishment. But who is going to punish them? America cannot punish them. Britain, that Nnamdi Kanu is a member, is a citizen of, cannot do anything, because Britain is actually against Nnamdi Kanu for daring to tamper what they created in Africa. Their company. For daring to tamper with their company in Africa. So Britain cannot do anything. Rather, Britain will support Nigeria to deal with Nnamdi Kanu, their own citizen. So it left for a common man like us to do something, which Omoyele Sowore has taken it upon himself to do something. Now, without further delay, let me show you what Omoyele Sowore has said, or should I say the reaction of Omoyele Sowore concerning this very latest development. And as you can see on your screen, this is it. And this is from the official and verified X handle of Mazi Omoyele Sowore. This is what he said this afternoon. Nigeria's illegal IG of Police Nigeria, Kayode Egbetokun, dispatched police lawyers to sue me in an effort to halt the Free Nnamdi Kanu Now protest scheduled for Asorok Villa on Monday. However, the judge, Justice Umar of Federal High Court in Abuja, refused to grant the ex parte motion, instead instructing him to serve me notice and adjourning the case until Tuesday for a proper hearing. Hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu Now. So this is from Omoyele Sowore. He has said something else, but before showing you the second thing he has said, let us first of all see this one. So you can see it here. This is the so-called motion or expert. I don't know. This is legal language, legal statement. I don't know how they say it. So this is it: plaintiff number, defendant number, blah blah blah. All those nonsense, they are here. Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Omoyele Sowore and 4 others. So this is the official notice from of course, in the Federal High Court of Nigeria, in the Abuja Judicial Division, holding at Abuja on Friday, the 17th day of October 2025, before His Lordship Honorable Justice M.G. Umar, Judge, Counsel Attendance, Court 5, blah blah blah. We are not here to read nonsense. So let me now show you Omoyele Sowore's second reaction towards this very development in conclusion. Yes, in conclusion, this is the latest reaction from Mazi Omoyele Sowore. He said, after initially declining to grant an ex parte motion to stop our planned protest in open court, Federal High Court Judge Justice Umar reportedly granted the motion in chambers. Zoological Republic. Phone. They have called him on phone. They have called him on phone to ask him, do you still want to remain a judge, or you want to jeopardize your career, even put your life in danger in the process? And the idiot has no any other option if not to bow to the powers that be, because this is Africa. This is the zoo. That is the reason why we call it Zoological Republic, Banana Republic, where the executives do whatever they like, where they neglect the rule of law. The rule of law is nonsense to them. That's why it's Zoological Republic. That's why it's Banana Republic. That's why it's Animal Kingdom, where rules and regulations are neglected. You understand? Now, after openly, rejecting the so-called ex parte motion or declining to give the order, a boy on a phone, they called him on telephone and he has to reverse himself. And the Omoyele Sowore continues. He said he has granted the motion in chambers imposing a ban on protest at Asorok Villa, National Assembly or Unity Fountain in Abuja. Now, Mazi continued, we await a certified true copy of the order, which our lawyers will review. The protest remains unstoppable. Let me take this part again. He said here, the protest remains unstoppable. Hashtag free Nnamdi Kanu now. The protest remains unstoppable. I want anybody who will be attending this protest to understand. I want everybody or anybody who will be attending this very protest to understand that Mazi Omoyele Sowore has said that the protest remains unstoppable. As a matter of fact, as citizens, you do not need any court order for protest. There is no law that prohibits citizens from protesting in the streets of Nigeria. There is no any law that prohibits you. So you do not need any court order whatsoever to vent your anger legally, to prove your anger, to show that what the government policies are not going well with the citizens. You understand? You do not need court order. You don't need anything court. In fact, court has nothing to do with this. So no matter what they try to do, try to concoct some judgment from quack judges and what should I call them? All those backyard judges. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to stop anything. The truth of the matter is, as citizens, you are not living in another man's land. You are a citizen of Nigeria. So as citizens, you do not need court orders to protest. That is the reality. Whether they like it or not, that is the truth. So I don't have much to say here. You can see the leader, the convener, is very, very, very active, fearless, and proactive. He has said that the protest remains unstoppable and nobody
Egbuma na-ege ntị edalụli na-enukwu si wee na-anụ olu m ụbọchị nke taa na Easter News 24 bụ ebe anyị si were wetara ya bụ nnukwu ozi gbasịta maka ya bụ ife na-emenụ ka efi were ikwu gbasịta maka ya bụ ife ndị anyị wetara n'ụbọchị nke taa n'iru akwụkwọ.